Have you ever wished for something so badly you'd do anything to get it? I mean, anything? In the misty outskirts of a Korean city, nestled among ancient trees, stood a prestigious girls' arts boarding school. It was the kind of place you see in brochures: grand stone buildings, perfectly manicured lawns, and an air of quiet dignity. But beneath the polished surface, the students whispered about a secret. A dark, tempting secret hidden in an ordinary-looking place. They called it the Wishing Stairs. To an outsider, it was just a long stone staircase behind the dance building. 28 steps, leading up a small hill shaded by whispering pines. Nothing special. But the legend was clear. If you climbed it alone at night, counting each step aloud, sometimes a 29th step would appear. And if you stood on that impossible step and whispered your deepest desire, it would come true. Sounds perfect, right? A magical shortcut to your dreams. But this wasn't a fairy tale. Every wish granted by the stairs came with a terrible price. It was a bargain with something ancient and unseen, something that fed on desperation. And at this competitive art school, where every girl was fighting for the top spot, desperation was everywhere. Our story begins with two best friends, Jinsuke and Sohee. Both were talented ballet dancers, but they were as different as night and day. Sohee was a natural. She moved with an effortless grace that captivated everyone. Teachers adored her, and she was the clear favorite for the lead role in the upcoming national ballet competition. Jinsuke, on the other hand, worked twice as hard, but always remained in Sohee's shadow. She practiced until her feet bled, her muscles ached, but she could never quite match Sohee's innate talent. The friendship that was once their comfort had soured into a quiet, simmering jealousy. One evening, after another grueling practice where the instructor praised Sohee and barely glanced at her, Jinsuke felt something snap. She saw the poster for the ballet competition, Sohee's smiling face already seeming to claim the victory. The envy was like acid in her stomach. That night, she couldn't sleep. The whispers of the Wishing Stairs echoed in her mind. Just one wish. That's all she needed. Just one chance to be the star. Driven by a desperate hope, she crept out of her dorm room. The campus was eerily silent, bathed in the pale glow of the moon. The air was cold, and the shadows of the pine trees twisted like long, skeletal fingers. She reached the bottom of the staircase, her heart pounding in her chest. She took a deep breath and began to climb. 1, 2, 3. Her voice was a shaky whisper in the stillness. The world seemed to hold its breath. 10, 11, 12. With each step, the air grew colder. She felt unseen eyes watching her from the darkness of the trees. 25, 26. 27. She reached what should have been the top. Her foot hovered in the air. She closed her eyes, praying. When she put her foot down, it landed firmly on solid stone. 28. She felt a crushing wave of disappointment. It wasn't real. It was just a stupid schoolgirl story. As she turned to leave, a fat, clumsy-looking girl named Hiru appeared at the bottom of the stairs. Hiru was often ridiculed for her weight, especially in the fiercely competitive ballet class. She looked up at Jinsuke, her eyes wide with a strange mix of fear and determination. Hiru started climbing, her breath heavy, but she didn't say a word. She just climbed, her gaze fixed on the top. When she reached the 28th step, she didn't stop. She took one more step onto a step that wasn't there a moment ago. The 29th step. Jinsuke froze, watching in disbelief. Hiru stood on the phantom step, her body trembling. She closed her eyes and whispered something into the night. It was too faint for Jinsuke to hear. Then, just as quickly as it appeared, the 29th step vanished, and Hiru stumbled forward, landing on the grass. She scrambled to her feet and ran off into the darkness, never looking back. Jinsuke was stunned. It was real. The legend was real. The next day, a strange atmosphere filled the ballet studio. Hiru was there, but she seemed different, lighter. During practice, as she attempted a simple pirouette, she spun with an unnatural speed and grace. She kept spinning, faster and faster, a look of pure joy on her face. But then it turned to horror. She couldn't stop. Her body contorted, her limbs flailing wildly as if controlled by an invisible puppeteer. She collapsed onto the floor, her body unnaturally thin, almost skeletal. When the medics arrived, they discovered she had lost a shocking amount of weight overnight, so much that her body had simply given out. Her wish had been granted. She wanted to be thin, to be a weightless dancer, and the stairs had given her exactly that by consuming her from the inside out. The horror of what she witnessed should have scared Jin-Skog away. But it didn't. Seeing the stairs' power firsthand only fueled her own ambition. She now knew it worked. And she was smarter than Hairu. She would be careful with her wish. That night, she returned to the stairs. The memory of Hairu's twisted body was a cold knot in her stomach, but the thought of winning, of finally beating Sohee, was stronger. She climbed again, her voice steady this time. 1.2.3. Double quotes, the wind howled through the pines, sounding like a chorus of pained screams. 20-7. 20-8. Double quotes. She paused, took a breath, and stepped onto the darkness. Her foot landed on the 29th step. It felt cold, like a block of ice. She leaned forward, the whispers of the wind swirling around her, and she made her wish. I wish Sohee would have an accident, something to keep her from the competition. I want to be the lead. I want her spot. The moment the words left her lips, a powerful gust of wind nearly knocked her off her feet. The 29th step disappeared, and she fell forward onto the damp earth. A sense of dread washed over her, but it was mixed with a thrilling, dark excitement. She had done it. The next day, the school was buzzing with news. Sohee had fallen down a flight of stairs in the main building. Her leg was badly broken. Her ballet career was over. Just like that, Jin-Skog was immediately chosen to take her place. She got her wish. She was the star. She tried to feel guilty visiting Sohee in the hospital with flowers and feigned sympathy. Sohee was devastated, her eyes empty and lost. But deep down, Jin-Skog felt a twisted sense of victory. Her victory, however, was short-lived. The night after she got the lead role, she was haunted by nightmares. She dreamt of Sohee, but not the friend she knew. In her dreams, Sohee was crawling up the wishing stairs, her broken leg dragging behind her, her face contorted with rage. Then, Jin-Skog started seeing things. She'd see Sohee's reflection in mirrors when no one was there. She'd hear her name whispered on the wind. Her guilt and paranoia began to consume her. One day, a new student named Yuna, who had been close to Sohee, confronted Jin-Skog. I know what you did, she said, her voice trembling with anger. Sohee told me. She knows you wished for this. It turned out that before her accident, Sohee had grown suspicious of Jin-Suk's jealousy. Terrified, Jin-Suk denied everything, but the seed of fear was planted. What if Sohee had made a wish of her own? Her fear became reality one night. As she was walking back to her dorm, she felt a presence behind her. She turned, and there was Sohee, hobbling on crutches, her eyes burning with a cold fire. You took everything from me, Jin-Skog, Sohee hissed. Now, I'll take everything from you. A strange, supernatural force seemed to emanate from her. Jin-Skog ran, her heart pounding. She fled to the only place she could think of, the wishing stairs. She thought maybe she could make another wish, a wish to undo it all. As she reached the bottom, she saw Sohee standing at the top, on the 29th step. But she wasn't alone. Standing beside her was the ghostly, emaciated figure of Hairu. And behind them, a line of other spectral girls, all past victims of the stairs, their eyes hollow and accusing. My wish, Sohee said, her voice echoing with an unnatural power. was that you would stay with me forever. The ghostly figures started to descend the stairs, their arms outstretched. Jinskook screamed, scrambling backward, but it was too late. The spirits swarmed her, their cold hands pulling her down. The next morning, the school was quiet. Akizgwa was gone. So he was also missing from the hospital. Life at the art school continued. New students arrived, full of dreams and ambition. And on quiet nights, when the moon is full and the wind whispers through the pines, some say you can still hear the counting. 27, 28. And sometimes, if you look closely at the top of the stairs, you might see the ghostly figures of two girls forever bound to the curse, waiting for the next desperate soul to make a wish. The wishing stairs reminds us that some shortcuts lead directly to a dead end. The thirst for ambition can be a poison, and the easiest path is often the most dangerous. So be careful what you wish for, because you just might get it. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more chilling tales. See you next time.